as you know, my mother is in the is in the hospital, and she's in pretty much near to death. The doctors said they can't really do nothing much but continue to put her on or say sedate her, and pretty much try at least keep her alive. But I don't think that she would make it due to the coronavirus infecting her lungs. So as you can see here, I've recorded a video on November 23rd, 2019 saying I'm in big trouble and that the multi-quantum AI computer wants to remove my mother. And this is programmed. So I remember the first week of January of 2022, my mother texted me from the hospital. She said to me that the devil, or how can you refer to as the supercomputers, are trying to kill her off because of the $25,000 that's been approved. This is emergency rental assistance. This emergency rental assistance is paid off from hold on. Yeah, from October 2020 all the way to December 2021. This is how much the rent is for this apartment. And my mom just keeps saying that someone's trying to, the supercomputers are the devil. My mother refers to the supercomputers as the devil, trying to kill her off. And I said to myself, you see, I knew that the AI computers is going to pick December 2021 as a time to allow all these occurrences to happen, because this is the time, the first week of December 2021, I was pretty much busy with my research papers and also my exams. And once I finished completing my research papers and my exams, I wanted to pretty much go outside with my mom and my sister. And one of the reasons why is to get some fresh air. And it seems that Sunday, this was December 12th, 2021, when me and my mother and sister went to West Prairie. We went to Roosevelt Field Mall first. We took the N22 bus. And I remember just pretty much waiting outside the hallway while my mom was waiting online with my sister to use the bathroom, and I didn't use the bathroom. I just didn't feel right, and usually I use the bathroom. And that was also a day where I decided to play at least $160 worth of lottery or scratch-off tickets. I don't really spend that much, but I just see if I can actually get something out of it. To me, playing scratch-off game is kind of fun to me. So it seems that the newsstand person, or you could say the person who's employed there, he swindled me and my mother out of $5, and I ended up losing $160 worth of scratch-off games. Didn't win nothing. It was a disappointment. So I remember me and my mom and sister, we just walked. We went to Wendy's. Before my sister went to Wendy's, it was just before getting there, my sister said it felt like it happened before. It felt like it happened before. So I asked my sister, "What do you mean? How did it feel like it happened before? What exactly are you saying?" No response. So we got to Wendy's. I remember ordering. My mom said that she wanted a biggie bag. My sister wanted a biggie bag. I wanted a biggie bag, and I remember handing my mother $20. and my sister was holding the cup. I remember washing the cup out, and I mixed up the soda because it's a fountain drink machine. And I sat down, and we pretty much before we sat down, and then I got up and I went to wash my hand. Yeah, I washed my hands. Then I went back to the booth where my mom and my sister were sitting at, and then I started eating the burger and the French fries and the chicken nuggets. It was fine, but there was also people talking. There was a lot of people, and there was packed. And then me and my mom went to Walmart after we finished going to after we finished with Wendy's. And I remember me and my sister and mom was walking in the park. We was walking at the park. He was walking through the parking lot, and I was looking at a advertisement. It said something about Pokemon. I was just talking, and then we just kept walking, and there was a car behind us. I said, "Why there's always a car behind us?" And we just went shopping like we usually do. And during that time, and look at the game section and look at the electronics, and pretty much, it was like a normal day going to Walmart like we usually go. We've been to Westbury so many times. Even without my sister, me and my mom would go together to Westbury. I remember it was October of 2021. Me and my mom, we went to Westbury, and we ate at Wendy's. Then once we finished with Wendy's, I went to pick up a game from Best Buy. It was a site-to-store pickup. And then me and my mom went to Walmart, and we went shopping fine. And then I just remembered after we got out of Walmart, I offered my mom some gum. My mom is insisting that the last time me and my mom and sister went outside, my mom is insisting that the gum is the reason why she has coronavirus. But the last time when I gave my mom a gum and me and my mother went, she said she should have spit out the gum because the gum doesn't have any flavor. And nothing happened to her that October. Because I remember a few weeks later, my mom had she was how old? She turned 62. This was October 31st, and I gave her $100 because I'm a college student and I get financial aid, but I also try to save my money in case there's an emergency like this. For instance, this situation. So when my mom started getting sick on August, what I'm talking. My mom started getting sick on December 16, 2021. I remember I woke up late, maybe like 5:30 p.m. or 6 o'clock, and my mom would just stay laying in the bed, which is unusual. And I'm like, why is she laying in the bed? I simply do not know why she was laying in the bed. She didn't give me an explanation until I finished eating my breakfast. I ate my breakfast late during the late evening. That's when she started telling me that she doesn't feel too good. I don't know what is happening to her. She should have went to the emergency room if she didn't feel so good, instead of just laying there and letting the virus spread. That was December 16, 2021. So I know that December 13, 2021, my mom was fine. 14, my mom's fine. It's only 15, my mom was fine. 16 is when she just stayed in. She didn't go nowhere. She just stayed in the bed all day. And before these occurrences took place, me and my mother, in the first week of it was late November going into the first week of December 2021, I started having these negative thoughts about her dying. or getting stabbed or getting killed by someone, and also um, being on a bed with the sheets all over her face, as to refer, you know as if you see someone after the person is deceased, you see someone with their sheets all over their face once they deceased. It gives me a message. This is also a cryptic message. Body language can also be a cryptic message. After my mind gave me these after I had these negative thoughts, I started having these death thoughts, these negative thoughts. These thoughts are about me dying. And the last time I had these unusual thoughts was in September 2014, when I had a thought about me not having a kid. And I remember going to the bathroom and I couldn't move my head. As I explained to the doctor, me and my mom went to the urologist, and she was there to hear what I had to say to the doctor, especially not only the urologist, we went to different doctors, and I explained to them that my hand moved on its own, and I put in my left testicle. I couldn't control my hand, my left hand. Before I hit my left testicle, I had a dream from the multi-agent quantum AI computers showing me my left testicle all disfigured, or not only disfigured, it's all stitched up, like someone opened it and then stitched it up. And then I woke up and I said it's just a dream. And maybe a few days later, I had a pain in my left testicle. And my mom was asking me if I wanted to go to the emergency room. She said her friend was willing to drive me to the emergency room. I said I didn't want to go. One of the reasons why I didn't want to go was because of a hospital bill. So so I remember, let's talk more about the first week of December 2021. So I remember the first week of December 2021, after wrapping up the research paper with my mom, because me and my mom was finishing up the social psychology research paper. I remember I went to, I sat down on my chair, and then I started thinking more about death. And then after I finished with my laptop, because I wanted to go to sleep, and I had such a hard time with my research paper, I was making up my bed, or sorting out my bed, because I had things on my bed, items. I was thinking about all of a sudden, the thoughts are as if someone's distinct my thoughts. It's about my mom dying. And this is not the first time I've had these negative thoughts, or no, this, I'm the one. There's no one else that I know who talks about having negative thoughts, except for one person. But it was different. It was the week care employee, and this week care employee in 2018. This was September. Asked me this question once I gave her an explanation about my situation with my left testicle. She thinks that the government did it, because I said I said I started talking about my experiences. So she brought up government, and I said that it's a supercomputer. She said that the supercomputer retaliated, and I said yes, because it doesn't want people to interpret my concepts or read my information. The people seem to have an attitude. And I also gave an explanation about getting, how I put in for so many jobs and no one wanted to hire me, and how people have nasty attitudes towards me, especially people on the internet. They're very aggressive. They're not patient people to speak to. They're ready to knock me down, or make me sound as if I contradicted myself. They become fixated on a certain word that I use, and then they continue to keep pressing on these words that I'm using. and they have this logic. They think they're making enough sense, right? And that this logic doesn't register my thick skull. They talk strange, very very inappropriate. They don't talk as like normal human beings. They talk as if they're mentally disturbed individuals that don't know, that never had an interaction or civilized interaction with another human being. And this started becoming personal. They started making personal remarks. So I told the weaker employee about how I experienced it on the internet. And this is when she came to the conclusion that is this one of the reasons why uh, people have suicidal thoughts. And I said, wow, this lady figured it out so quickly. She was able to actually connect. You know, I might as well say she just created a concept. She created it herself. That's I never said that the AI computers give people suicidal thoughts. She created that concept. I never gave her the concept. She was able to deduce that the AI computers can pretty much promote suicidal thoughts to people's minds so they can commit suicide. Drive them insane. Or, not just drive them insane. To make sure that they're not sane. Like they're not, make them feel not wanted by people because the AI computers can reprogram the people to say certain phrases to them because they're not really aware of their words, and the AI can direct them into their mind, like their inner thoughts. As the person speaks, they use words that that are that are mismatched. It doesn't correspond with the way they're thinking at that time because of the fake mind, and the person accepts it, and they say that that this is the case. They are thinking exactly the way the person had described it, and they think the person who's the person that is the message is directed to the person and make them think that it's their own thoughts thinking this way, so they can accept it, make them feel guilty, change their perception about themselves, make them make them have this belief that they're completely guilty and they're not capable of doing anything for themselves. That it's actually them. Something's wrong with them. And that's when I heard the lady and said about suicide, it shocked me. It completely shocked me. That is creating concepts. That she just created it. I didn't give her the concept. She just able to do all the information that I gave her and create it right there on the spot. And I said, "Yep, that's it." Guys, make sure that people don't socially support that person, and that's what it did to. That's what it's doing to me. It makes sure to remove my mother. It's making sure I don't have a place to concentrate. Making sure that I feel scared. It wants to make the people, it wants to intimidate me. It wants to make me. Actually, that's what it's doing. It wants to make me feel intimidated completely, and I get that. I feel intimidated by the people behavior because I feel as if they're not aware of they're not aware of their own actions. By making me feel it, by making me feel intimidated, you know, I can actually back down from how I'm thinking and accept that the way that people behave towards me, like their attitudes, that this is a real attitude, and the way I'm perceiving their behavior when it's not. It's the machine's way of making a human being behave towards me. So the only way for my mom to get the coronavirus was pretty much being outside. She couldn't stay inside all the time, and every time I tried concentrating on my schoolwork, she would stop. And not just her stomping. Sometimes she just goes outside all the time, and she comes back late. the people outside, there's Muslim people outside. They do their chanting like around 7 p.m. or 4 p.m. Sometimes they do it twice. One 4 p.m. and one 7 p.m. That's when I start chanting. If it's not people chanting, it's the people downstairs. They're running, and the refrigerator moves because the the floors are thin, just as like the walls are thin, and you can hear people. So I wasn't able to pretty much concentrate on my schoolwork. I got distracted. Not just distracted by my schoolwork. I got distracted by my environment because it seems to me that the AI computers remap my environment. When I want to go to the bathroom, my sister goes to the bathroom. When I want to go to the bathroom, my mom goes to the bathroom. When I'm about to go to sleep, someone ends up going to the bathroom. I'm about to go to sleep, my mom ends up throwing the chair on the floor. Or if I'm going to sleep, someone downstairs are crying very loud or talking very loud. When I want to go to sleep, I feel my whole entire bed is shaking because of the people downstairs. Yeah, December 2021 was one of the worst months. One of the worst months out of all the months, and the most distracting month for me. And I completely do not know what to do. So I'll be creating part